Alright, got a submission here for my train from Moonshine, who also is Bob Robertson. I think this is, he said it was from his wife had played it. And let me check the original comment. It says there's kind of weird offerings of units and shop upgrades, and also chased with rage. Kind of just forced him into a weird line, from what it sounds like. So we'll see. I mean, I do like this combo. There's a lot of synergy here, a lot of hits. Alright, so if we get stuck going cold channel, we don't immediately have anything for it, but we have already, you know, some synergy with the frostbite. But we obviously want some defense. I would lock in a Titan channel though, if I saw it. You know, being that it's chased, being that it's double exploder, there's just going to be a lot less risk going Titan channel. We don't have that choice though, so cold channel it is, it's fine. Oh yeah, and he had made a comment that he wasn't sure if faulty loader was correct with cold channel. I would say I don't mind it. I mean, there are... Yeah, you don't get frostbite to the first wave, but that's your weakest frostbite anyway. And in this combo, I'd be surprised as hell if we don't have some supplemental units. You know, some other combos you have to like all in on cold channel. In this one, we don't really. So, and here's another thing, it's up against a complete trash artifact. So, you know, if it's up against something better, sure, but we would take faulty loader here for sure. And if need be, I can just torch my own soul guard if I have to. Alright, we get the hardest troop and boss and trial. And yet still I'm just not that worried about it. I'm not gonna like hit myself here to get incants or anything like that, and this guy doesn't hurt me, so not even worth my clicks. Now these guys we would hopefully, it does suck that we drew like both horn breaks and a flash freeze there. Like that for certainly does suck, but it is what it is. We should get a few incants up here. I don't think I want to Ember Drain here, because if I can get this Glacial Seal down, I want to. And we'll get this guy out of here though. And I could get an incant here or frostbite here. I think I want an incant here. So we definitely want to take that guy out, so we at least only take 7 here. We're still going to have a rough time into this boss, to be honest, but not a whole lot I can do about that. On that note though, we really do kind of just want to get as many shards as possible ready for the boss. I'm willing to leak this. So we'll actually kill that. It does suck that we bottom deck the Glacial Seal. Yeah, it is what it is. We're down to just take whatever from him. We need to focus on the boss at this point, but we should, you know, at least kill that. So let's eat up a lifesteal stack and get some frostbite going. Shit, it really is a fucked up boss though, right? Like it's like, so it's just like the worst possible stuff right here. Can only incant max 2 times, but that is 4 frostbite to the floor. I do think it's probably worth it to go like this. Yeah, it is just really fucked up that this guy gets lifesteal on top of better stats and the killing of your draw and the additional fire damage. It's just never liked the design of this boss. We're gonna need this. Worst case, so 1 out of 3, I don't get that, and I don't get an extra incant. We're never going to kill this guy, but we should try to just go for a 50-50 there. Oh yeah, actually, we do kill him. Okay. Well, I'd be lying if I said that I did the exact math, but 7 damage taken, not too bad. Probably just the Heliocal Crystallis. We need that big front-loaded bang still, especially if we miss on these unit drafts. Okay, these are some good cards. These are 3 of the best cards in the game, just lined up. So let's think about what we want here. So the first Helvent's here. We have a steel. How do the steels look otherwise? Iffy. Good. Bad. So, you know, first 2 are hittable, but we may not want, if we miss on this unit draft, we miss on this unit, and we don't get a unit draft there, or miss on the unit draft, then we kind of have to go there, right? That's a lot of ifs. Now, alternatively, if I could just take the ritual, you know, I have a helmet here. It synergizes with incant, and I can get it cost down here. Weird map, by the way. No temples, and a bunch. I guess it's fine. I'll probably take this, but I probably shouldn't take that. We'll be at 25 shards. Leaning toward ritual. There's also something you gotta factor in, like Endless could still be a hit if we get a Titan Shark. But it is nice hitting the steel, even, say if we don't get the Titan Shark, to have Endless be a hit for Fledgling Imp. But Fledgling Imp needs the Endless basically to, you know, shine. And it's also a little bit anti, you know, Soul Guard here. If I were to predict, though, I would be surprised if we're using Soul Guard in this run, if I'm being honest, in any major capacity. Just kind of how it goes. If you get a stronger line, might as well lean into the stronger line. It's not going to be tiresome climb. I can find that later, and it doesn't do for me right now what I want here, which is to figure out my offensive scaling. Ritual Battle is basically guaranteed to work, but there is a low roll here. The low roll would be that I never find a Sweeper, I never find Multi-Strike, or I never find Horned Warrior. That's a lot of ifs again, but not out of the question, because if it's just a single striking unit that I get stuck with, then Ritual isn't that good. Whereas, like, with the Fledgling Imp, I can get 2 single striking units and actually scale them, right? Which is still potentially not good enough still, right? Tough choice here. I think it's pretty close between Fledgling Imp and Ritual. The thing with the Ritual is I think it's the floor is a bit higher with Ritual, but the ceiling is absolutely higher with the Imp. I should mention it's not out of the question that you can make a Fledgling Imp work without Endless, but it's just really annoying. Like you can dedicate, if you happen to find another Fledgling here, you can self-infuse and dedicate every Hellvent to it. And especially if you can get some artifact support, that can work, but even without it, that's, you know, 4 times 10 rage, so 40 rage to the floor total. It can work. It's still not like quite enough, but with artifact supported, like a Resonant Shard or Deranged Brute even, like, then you can, or like a Last Stand. Last Stand could work. I don't know though, kind of leaning toward Ritual. Like I said, I could just find Titan Sentry and then Endless is still open. And then, you know, we'll just focus on trying to get a sweeper or something. It does make me kind of inclined to take the helmet, though, and this is not necessarily a good helmet. If I have my unit by then, it's certainly not a good helmet because this side's better. But if I am still searching for like a sweeper or something, then sure, this is definitely the better side. And if I have a ritual in hand, but even if I had a fledgling imp in hand, it might be fine to helmet that. Tough call. Tough call. No, we gotta make a decision. I think I might like the imp more right now, actually. If I'm not finding endless, then I should be finding, hopefully, multi-strike. Whew, these are bad. These are bad. I could just take an Alpha Fiend, though. It would be scaling into a sweeper. I gotta say, though, scaling a Stygian sweeper with Alpha Fiend is rough. Not out of the question, but rough. Could take a guard, on the other hand, for its essence, which is okay. In this combo, it's a bit better than normal. I doubt we're high rolling into like an Apex Imp or anything, but if it's there, it's there. It also just has potential to do good things, so with Railhammer and stuff. Or just use some of the armor synergies. Leaning toward Alpha Fiend, oddly enough. Yeah. Just trying to cover my bases here. You want to figure out offense before you figure out defense. Quick. Well, this is also a good reason that we took Alpha Fiend, because it... Man, do we take an Offering Monument? This deck is all over the place. So we've managed to not hit Titan, Sentry, or the Sirens. With only that Stygian banner left. True, we could hit there. True, we could hit there. I don't know. I mean, the Offering Monument still has some synergy with the Soul Guard, but that's about it. And I guess the Glacial Seal. It's probably worth taking this. I don't know. Shitty thing is, like, if I re-roll and I get multi-strike, am I really going to put that into Alpha Fiend? I guess I am. I mean, we're definitely rolling pretty poorly here. I don't know that an Offering Monument gets us that much right now. Like Incant Gas, we're not really scaling up the way you want to scale up. Like, I'm scaling the shards, but I don't care too much there. I think I am just going to skip this. Damn. Oh, that's yucky. Well, I'm going to do it. This is not a great situation. Still going to take this. Probably just take a refracting lenses. I know it does nothing for us currently, but long term that could be pretty good. We're just going to live with that. Unit draft is good. The +4 damage is a little bit scary, but We should be able to take out a lot of this with our backline clear. We're just going to run Soul Guard and Alpha Fiend on the floor. I don't care too much about shards. I'm not going to put that down though, I don't think. I do kind of need that melee weakness. Bastard. I definitely can't let these things live, unfortunately. Now the only question left is, like, is our children learning? And also, do I kill this collector or not? Because if I don't, I probably just kill it. Okay, that helps a little bit. Damn it for gunpowder. We can take that hit. Let's just do... As long as we beat this boss. 4. I get an extra thing of frostbite here, but I also just get more damage on the boss. I think we just do this. And I may as well just do this. He's gonna kill me in one hit anyway. Alright, see, if we hadn't taken the multi-strike, we may have been dead here. I will say this, awkward run so far, it's not been good. So we took a Crystallis already. I don't know that I can take another. I also don't really want to take these. Maybe a Flash Freeze, maybe. I really hope this unit is something good. I will do... I don't want to add another Crystallis, but I probably should. I don't know. I probably should. Alright, well, at this point we take a ritual, and I'm even wondering... Especially if this unit sucks, we definitely go to the right and get ready for this Hellvent. God, are we really going to do this with a... I hope we don't get stuck with an Alpha Fiend. Okay, there's a Steelworker at least. Has some synergy with the Cold Channel, not a whole lot. Wondering if Siren into our already multi-striking Alpha Fiend makes any sense. It's potential that it could. Really, we just want a sweeper. I would abandon the multi-striking Alpha Fiend for a sweeper easily. I don't know which way I'm going here, actually. If I go left, it's quick and shitstone. That's just really sad. If I go right, aside from the rares, really Horn Warrior and Railbeater would be the only thing I'm looking for to help enter a unit. And the Merchant of Magic, I'm just looking to cost reduce the ritual, maybe add some damage to the horn breaks, but that's about it. There's not much else to roll into there. Whereas I could go left and get an endless something. Endless in the fledgling imp. It takes Steelworker. Ah, this is tough though. Like, if I go left, there's a 25% chance it's a complete brick. And even, I don't know, Endless. Endless is obviously good. I'd like to hit a little more natural of a... Merchant of Steel. But really, this is the only one that I'll naturally hit. I could force this one. But with... I think maybe I'm going to lean toward the Ritual right now. Shitty thing is, like, we don't have a good cold channel set up. We have picked up no Wilder Helpers, nothing like that. Even a Fortify would work. We have a unit that's kind of too fat for Fledgling Imp to work with. I could support this with Rituals. I just don't know. Like, do I put the Steelworker into it then? Run 2 of them on a 4 would be weird. I'd almost rather just... Like, at that point, maybe I run... I guess I could run, like, a Steelworker into this with Soul Guard on the floor, then I'm getting 5 armor to it each turn. Long term, that's not going to work, though. It's not enough. I do think I'm just going to take the guaranteed play here with the Ritual, though. I think I will visit the cavern before I do much, though. God, these... I gotta say, these banners have sucked. Not a single sweeper, no horned warrior, not a rail beater. I guess we got the Steelworker. Steelworker's like literally the only good thing along with, I guess, the Siren of the Sea that's been offered. This is definitely... I don't even know if this is an imp my train at this point. This is like a cursed seed at this point, I think. Yeah, I mean, I could self-infuse the Alpha Fiend, then I get 20 attack a turn? I don't think so. Okay, this is looking better. So we have a few options here. I could take the hammer, which is really good. Or I could just bring the Alpha Fiend down to a 2-size unit. Which is a little boring, but what it does allow me to do is just kind of run that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm taking the hammer. And honestly, Hef would be a better unit than anything I have right now, so I would actually love to just get the Hef from it. We could be a little greedy here and hold out for like a piercing or a plus 30. I don't know how necessary that is. When I can just guaranteed put plus 10 into it right now. However, if I do that and reroll, then I won't be able to afford a holdover if I see it, and I'd rather put in a holdover. So I think right now, 6 versus 10 doesn't change anything in this upcoming fight, so I don't need to do that now, but I would love to put it on holdover. Okay, it's a double stack. But we'll just keep committing to this then, and now it's of course a Surge Stone, which sucks, but it is what it is. I wouldn't mind Surge Stoning one of these, but the Torch could be good too. Since it's double exploder, maybe the Torch makes more sense. Do I take that gold? Doesn't look like it. Alright, let's fight. At least with the Surge Stone we have some refracting lenses stuff too now. So it's okay. So for this fight, should we just run Steelworker and Alpha Fiend instead of Soul Guard? Like, I don't necessarily see Soul Guard doing that well here. Might be able to even Wingmaker this. We should kill these guys. Should do this too. I guess that... I mean, he'll probably bring the grenade here, and maybe I can just get the hammer next turn. Even one space is fine. Alright, that'll do. I'm just going to throw that away. I'm most worried about the boss. I'm not really worried about the waves here. One, two, three, four. So this 5 damage. We can just do that then. We can just do that. We don't have any incant synergy. Let's just try to do that. Alright, there's the ritual. Get the hammer on the worst turn possible, of course. 40. Let's do this then. I could have done the hammer up top, but I want to get my hammer charges in because I think it's based. I actually don't even know if this is true, but I'm pretty sure it's based off the number of kills or whatever. So I want to get half as soon as possible, essentially. Alright. We gained health on that fight. Siren Song, Alloy, Spike. Nothing stellar, but definitely passable stuff. Alloy would give us an option back into Cold Channel as like a thing. Maybe I just take that. I think the Siren Song is also pretty close, but I do wonder. I don't currently have a good double stack, so it would open up double stack, but this is also a good double stack and a good consumer move. And if I never find any of them, at least it's another 5 health each round, and it's just good. I'm probably taking the Alloy. Yeah, and we're probably going for this helmet. Right, we do have a sweeper. There is a certain amount of redundancy with the fact that I have Wingmaker, but what I'm thinking is, like, I could eventually put Hef into the Cold Kalia. It would make it a 4-pip unit, but I could eventually take a pip upgrade or just trust in Wingmaker plus just Hef. I don't know. Let me think here. Worth noting is that Cold Kalia right now is not going to be strong. It is a dead draw, a dead priority draw currently. And it would be a long time until it actually is good. Like, I have to, even with a Hef infusion, it's like, I would like to hit a Merchant of Steel anyway. This is tough. This is not so straightforward. I do wonder if just Hef as a unit would be better than Cold Kalia with the Hef infusion, because Hef is only 3-pip. Tramples anyway, but it also resolves pip. Like, I could just take a Seal Worker here. Because right now, for the next few rings, unfortunately, probably this multi-striking Alpha Fiend is better than Cold Kalia. Oh, this is so weird. I mean, I could also just take the Steelworker, self-infuse it, since I have two of them. This is tough. I still am inclined to Hellvent my ritual. Or I just take the Cold Kalia and put Alpha Fiend into it. Yeah. 1 sec. Alright, I'm gonna use the pause function. Alright, we're back. Do kind of feel like I can just use this sweeper. Let's just take the sweeper. I'll figure it out. And yeah, we should just take draw. The only thing that sucks is, like, I'd really like to actually Hellvent the hammer, but I do kind of need to Hellvent the ritual. I would put 30 on the hammer. Still wouldn't Hellvent it, I suppose. Was that Purge was the other one? Yeah. I don't think we're much of an incant deck. I am wondering though, like, do I even want to put Hef into the Cold Kalia? It's like, there's a lot I can do right now. Like, I can... I don't think I'd take a guard anyway. But I am just wondering, like, where I make infusions and whatnot. I don't think I do any yet, because ring 4 and 5 are going to be pretty bad. But, like, probably here and here is where I target fusing my units together. Looks like this is where they went down. I'm going to put this here. That much I know to be true. But we'll keep under 50 here. And still Hellvent the ritual. I'm open to actually flexing Titan here. But yeah, with this deck it might make sense just to get around the only downside of that really is that I don't get the full ranked Colton channel, but in this deck I don't need it. I already have a sweeper with eventually a lot of damage, and I also have the supplement damage from good old Wingmaker. But this gets me the... Really, I'm just taking this for the Ember Drain that it gets around. The only downside is if I draw Alloy before it can get phased, but that's fine. I'm willing to make that sacrifice for Ember Drain. Long term, I still don't know that Soulguard makes it onto the floor. Okay, at 40 shards, this should be okay. Like, these guys, if they get sharded up, tough shit. The backliners are never going to survive this. Between the Frostbite and the Sweeper and the Wingmaker and the Horn Breaks, there's just no way. So, if the tanks get through, so be it. For this fight, do I run Soulguard and Alpha Fiend? Yep. And I'll just work toward phasing. I can deal with that. The boss is easy, so we could get the Collector here by playing Cold Kalia out. I do lose my melee weakness though, so maybe I don't do that. Why don't we just do like this then? Alright, please don't throw the alloy. Perfect. Oops. Well, that was worse. That was bad, but, you know, that's how we do it. This is how we do it. We only gain a little bit there. As long as I can get that. I just need to kill the tanks here. Ooh, that's good. There we go. This guy should be dying. No sense adding a Scourge to my deck. Alright. Worth taking. Do I want an Urchin Spines or an Unnamed Tome? Urchin Spines has pretty good synergy with the Wingmaker and I guess the Crystallises and the Hornbreaks. I don't see anything other than Chase that super wants Silence, but generally the Silence Tome will be more useful. I think here though, given what I'm up against, I might like the Urchin Spines more. You know, Ring 5 it'll help more with. I think I will take it here. Branding rate's pretty good with the Soul Guard. I guess it just depends on how much we're thinking that we're going to use Soul Guard. It's a little awkward right now. This would make the most sense if I end up with like Steelworker into Cold Kalia. I still don't really know what we're doing. I think I take the branding rate though. We have this Merchant of Magic. It would be a good one to cost reduce. Impish Scholar, I doubt is that good for me. It does bring back some good consumables potentially, but I don't know. I would never put Endless on it, obviously, because Fledgling Imp right now would get that. Even all things considered. Maybe, though, it could probably still work. But that's all banking that I get Endless. I might just want the branding right now. Alright, we're going to the right. Holdover. Alright, that absolutely goes right here. Now I don't need to hold that, or I don't need to Hellvent that. I can just keep Hellventing the rituals. Spell Chain is no good. I could just intrinsic this. I don't see why I wouldn't. So this opens up our strategy like tenfold here. So now, kind of more open to what I originally was thinking. Like maybe I don't care about Hef. I might just not take Hef. And what I'm thinking is I just put the Steelworker into the Cold Kalia. And that can be my carry, and I can eventually get... Still, the ritual is a little odd, I would say, and how we're going to use that. It's a little odd how we're going to use that. Definitely want to Surge Stone stuff. That's earning us Pyre health. Anything worth permafrosting? Not really. Plus 10 goes here. And make one of them 0, I guess. Well, I think we're good on the stealth boss. Let's get rid of this fucking unit. Maybe Crystallis at this point, actually. Even though I took the thing, I don't think we need that. I mean, I have the hammer on holdover, so... do need to get 50 shards somehow. Thinking maybe Steelworker into Cold Kalia should work. We'll just try to get some initial health on the Cold Kalia, and either Quick or Multi will do. Whatever I see first, I will accept. I don't care too much about getting a ton of revenge on Soulguard. I know that now at this point I wish I had full Cold Channel, but this should still work. Yeah, alright. It is Stealth Boss, so... Spell Shield 2 actually doesn't work here because I don't have Pierce. It's like literally the only downside of this, so I'm not going to take the gold here. Unfortunately. It is what it is. We have the unit that we want though, so we'll definitely do that. Instead of armor, let's get damage. I'm going to wait until I can get my pip, so we'll just use these for incants. Well, I lied. I guess I'm just going to use it here. Fuck me, right? Just keep getting incants. That works. Let's do this. I'm going to try to burn out some stealth with units if I can. And instead of doing it down there, I might as well just do it up here, right? Because I can get, you know, a stack of whatever. Yeah, probably makes sense to do that, though. Yeah, we'll just, I guess, do something like that. There's a lot of ways we could have played that, but important thing is we got them. Frenzied Swarm not out of the question. Right now, you know, eventually I don't have to take any more shards other than I can just Hellvent this, probably with the final Hellvent. And then that'll put me right at 100, which I'll cancel out the sweep attack. However, yeah, we'll see. I think at this point an Unnamed Tome makes sense. Frenzied's, I mean, those are all incredible cards. Okay, I think I take the Tiresome Climb over an Inferno here. Kind of that, yeah. Just, yeah, Tiresome Climb's just a better card. And I don't think I'm gonna take half. I think I'm gonna remove Alpha Fiend and just run double Cold Kalia here. Was my plan. If I even need to do that, I don't know. I'm not even 100% sure if I need to do that. But either way, I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be out of the question to still take half. I think I am going to take F. It's just a value unit. We don't have to be perfect in our execution here. And yeah, I think we're still going to Hellvent though. Nothing worth spell chaining. At this point, nothing worth intrinsicing, I'm pretty sure. Like, I could intrinsic the tiresome climb, but I doubt it. Do we want to damage or buff? I think we want to buff or heal. I don't know, the buff is 10 flat damage, which is pretty good. Let's do that. I would take Ascend if they had it. Otherwise, this just doesn't really make sense. Push, maybe. I could add Push. But if I'm putting that on a unit, it stands to reason they should go to the back, right? I don't know, though. I think we just leave that. Okay. That's good. That is probably worth a intrinsic now that I think about it. I will take it. I don't know, is it worth an intrinsic? I think I'm gonna Hellvent this. I don't know that it's worth an intrinsic. It's not like it's getting me over the hump. We're gonna stick to right to 100 shards, right? Oh, I gotta remember, my Hellvent's only 15, so I could actually do that then. I mean, it's not that bad of a play. I think it's an okay intrinsic. So now the 15 will get us to 100. I was originally thinking 25 because of the unit, but I'm like, wait, Hellventing the unit is 15, not 25. Alright, this is another reason why Faulty Loader's pretty good. I think we would rather run... It is kind of an issue that they cost too. But I could get around that by bringing that down to 0 eventually. So for this, we should just do that. And we'll just have to draw back into Cold Kalia. Could also just do... We could get more pip by doing this. Do I want to Ember Drain for putting Steward in? Right now, it's not that much of a downside, so I think I actually do it. It's Hellborn Harvest, right? Yeah, I'm going to do it. There's going to be another Incant Shard coming up. Damn, why did it have to be that one? Well, here I'm just going to use that to get around the Ember Drain then. We have a pretty fat deck. How did this happen? Because I just haven't really focused on removals much. Gotta say, pretty damn unfortunate turn to like draw all this bullshit on. But is what it is, I suppose. I think I need that frostbite on you-know-who. Let's just do this. Sure. Little worried here, not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep that unit in. It's an extra hit between me and you-know-who. Definitely need to get a bunch of frostbite going. So nice of you to finally show up. Don't know if we want that on holdover at this point. Alright, let's think what we can do here. So 35 by 2 is 70. I have 68 on my frontliner right now. I can get 2 more hits here in. So that's a lot of extra damage. I think I want to put this here. And that's quite a lot. Let's see how that... I don't know. It's a lot of frostbite. I don't know if we're going to survive it, though, at the pyre. We did. Okay. That was not as good as I thought it would go. So now we see taking half was not good. We absolutely would have rather had Cold Kalia there. I don't know. We got out of it, but just barely. Horfrost Effigy just never makes sense. One-Horn Tome could make sense. I do wonder if it's worth trying for. We only have the one Merchant of Magic. We have the one Temple. I'm not taking an Ember upgrade. I don't think we take it. I don't have quite the armor support for it. So we whiff there. Draw should help, though. This incredibly fat deck is just too fat. Okay, multi-strike, beautiful. I think quick is less needed when I have the holdover hammer. I can take a hit here and there from you-know-who. And true, I don't necessarily incant a whole lot, but it's probably better than 25 health is my thought. And I am thinking we want to get rid of actually all the other banners. The hammer at this point, we don't actually care about the pip that it provides. I just care that it's killing units. So I do think I'm going to remove these other units. They're just clogging the deck. So, Alpha Fiend, thank you for your service. And where is F? F, thank you for your service. And yeah, don't think we take any of that. Let's hard remove some stuff. I could maybe keep the stewards. Definitely we don't want that anymore. What else do we not want? Probably some stewards. I don't need all of these. We have Vortex and Hellvent coming up. Let's hold a little bit of gold. And we probably just... Do I care about trying to do 10 stacks? It mainly has only the downside of like alloy not being able to get played, and I can just play that at a later time. Same and branding right, I guess, but like I think we'd rather just have the extra health and damage, right? I have to imagine. This should be hopefully fine. Because I have this. I do need to incant once before I play it, but that's fine. Could also just do it before I put everybody down. Why don't I just do that? Well, I should have put him down first. That was a fuck up. I could do this, or I could do that. Probably should do that, just because health issues here, right? Oh, I still haven't health entered the unit. Well, we'll do that eventually. So that hurt a little bit. I'm gonna just have to throw that for the incant. I already regret taking the Titan channel. That was not good. But it is what it fucking is. Shit. Just gonna have to deal with the scourges, I guess. This really sucks. Penitent is pretty busted. Oh my god, this sucks. I think I prematurely remove these these units. Hopefully we're getting somewhere now. Trying to play out all the consumables so that I can gather back some pyre health. It is a living armor, so no worries there. Here, let's put them in kind of anti-living armor, but at the same time not really. Right, there's another consumable. We get through that fight. Another fight that just went a lot worse than I thought it would, though. I would say so far, I wouldn't say I've played the best, but it definitely feels more like a cursed seed, I would say, than my train, so no worries on losing this seed. This was a tough seed. I think we're starting to have it come together here, though. Problem if I take this tiresome climb is, like, I already want to get the other one cheaper. And I want to get that to 0 cost as well. So it just remains at a 2 cost, which isn't necessarily the greatest thing, but it could definitely help with the Ember Drain problem that I have right now. So I guess I'll take it. Alright, we're gonna Hellvent that unit for sure. Entering with Rage is like, okay. Totem Fragment, though, that's just happening. That's absolutely happening. I guess I'm not entirely sure that Hellventing this is actually the answer either. I mean, I'm almost wondering if I just Hellvented a 0 cost tiresome climb, if that's better. You know, I can survive, so I'll come in with essentially 20 health. I'm not going to die at around 1 divinity. And as long as I Fiend can't 5 times stop. I don't know, that is pretty hard, isn't it? But it's like, if I have enough tiresome climbs, I'm gonna skip these. No, too bad the imp thing never worked out. Let's see. We want that down. We don't need it down though, like we did before, because we don't have the 2 cost units. I am kind of wondering if just bring this down to a whatever cost. If I still kind of have to Hellvent the unit here though, right? If I don't Hellvent the unit, I need to Hellvent the Wingmaker, which I don't really want to do. So I gotta get to 100 shards. So I guess we have to Hellvent the unit. I could still take the gold if I need it. Is it that imperative that I play this? If I draw... It's probably good to bring it... I don't know. What do you think about this? I do want a 10 there. This is much more useful at 10. I could also just shit frost one of these. Like the one that costs more. It would kind of make sense to do that. Kinda, but at the same time not really. Just not worth 100 gold or whatever. Could double stack that. Even then, I don't know. I just don't want to increase the cost of my shit. Is it the end of the world if I don't play this? Like if I draw both units and this, it means I have to play the hammer. So then I don't play this. It's probably not the end of the world if I don't put both units down. I'd rather just always kind of be able to play these. What did we have here? Nothing good. Let's make some removals then and see. Well, let's make the free removals, see where that leaves us. Definitely don't need these stewards. I don't need the fledgling imp, though it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to keep in. So we're right at enough gold to not take the surge stone. What do we want to do here? Maybe I will remove a foregone power. It's pretty good in the stack, but yeah. And we'll get that duped, and I think that's it. We got really no reason to take that. Okay, I am iffy on this. I'm pretty sure we're going to win, but it's possible that we have a rough time. But I don't think it'll be too bad. So since we already got the extra pip here, I'd rather just get that in, I think, even though I lose the rage anyway. We might as well do this and have it sit there. It's just going to be a nice buffer. That's a big hit. This is where the, you know, the phasing is not so good. Let's just do that. Man, am I gonna get Ember Drained here? Nope, I forgot. I have Totem Fragment. Duh. Okay, I take it all back. I'm not gonna lose. I have a fucking Totem Fragment. I don't know what I was ever worried about. Shouldn't have been worried about anything at all. Like somehow completely passed over that. I did that in the wrong order. Actually, we could... It still kind of makes sense to do it this way. Go like this. We have gained almost 30 pyre health. So that guy's still kind of an issue then, huh? Let's see, we can just do that then. He's gonna lose the dazed. I don't know why I did that. Alright, let's do that then. And it loses the spell weakness. Fuck. Doesn't matter, apparently. Apparently it does not matter. Look at how ridiculous Chased is, though. It's like, I don't even have a bit of rage left over. Fucking hate this boss. I hate this fucking boss. At least he has some frostbite on him. At that amount of frostbite, I'm pretty sure we're winning here. You almost should do this. It was the first time Forgotten has really betrayed me this run. Like, realistically, it has been pretty good to me this run. Alright, die Chased. That's for taking my rage away. Definitely there's a gap between Chased, Diligent, and, you know, Patient and Temperate. Like, Chased, it's like he gets lifesteal, he's doing all this shit. The sharded up version of the Pyre Wings can be pretty ridiculous sometimes. Like, for us, in this build it didn't matter because we're just ridiculous, but yeah, this is definitely a Skyrim difficulty run, where the first part and middle part were definitely harder than the end. I mean, once we get Totem Fragment, they could really nerf this to 1 and it's still a bit too powerful. Like, all things considered. Alright, this is why we bring this to a 1 cost. I was hoping it would discard that one, actually. Bye-bye everything. Hope you had a nice time. Don't even think we need that Rage Imp. We'll just do this. We can do that. Fuck that boss, piece of shit. Horrible bosses cosplay. I guess we do that. Might as well kill him in style, you know. Boom, bitch. Fine, letting that die for the Ember Drain. Let's just get this out of here. Do have the spell shield. Just thinking how I should do this. Oh, if this discards it, okay. So I'll just live with it, because I want to maximize my incants top, be as greedy as possible. Yeah, actually, I think I might just want to hold it for the Scourge Shuffler round. That kind of makes sense, right? Yeah, we can draw back into it, right? Never mind. He'll hit us for a little bit, but, you know, I got some answers for him. Alright, G, motherfucking G. Yeah, awkward run for sure. Borderline cursed in the middle. By the end, not too bad. But I'll say this, I expect, like, this was one of those where it kind of just gets bailed out by the ridiculousness of Wingmaker, which is another reason, by the way, where I typically don't recommend going the skip Wingmaker option. I do think Hef is usually skippable, but I also think she's usually takeable as well. I think in this case we shouldn't have took her, and we remedied our mistake by removing her, but it almost cost us the run by taking Hef, let's put it that way. But yeah, there was a bit of heuristics going on too. Like, there was some tough choices there where it was like Siren of the Sea, Steelworker, and there was a million different directions you could kind of go. None of them certain, right? So what I did is I just made a judgment call that Steelworker was more valuable to me in the most general of general senses than the Siren of the Sea would be. Because the Siren of the Sea is only going to benefit in a hardcore incant deck, and even then, only really, like, at that point I don't believe we had a sweeper, so like, was it going to be a 1-1 into a multi-striking Alpha Fiend, or was it just going to be itself, you know, just a Siren of the Sea that hopefully eventually finds multi-strike? Those were more big what-ifs than the Steelworker, which is just always going to be good, right? And had, you know, if we find Rail Hammer, would be even more better, right? But just already kind of good. But yeah, long story short, Wingmaker just carries the shit out of this run. It's such a busted card. If it never... There's so many things that this card you could take away from, and it would still be really good. Like, if it didn't add Pip at all, think about the context of this run by the end. Did we care that it was adding Pip? Not really. You could take away the 2 hits, have it just hit once, you know? Like, maybe, you know, if it just became an AoE card, maybe at that point it's bad, but even then I'd say it's, you know, a lot of cases I might still just take it as a flat AoE card for 1 cost. But the fact that it hits twice, it also just comes in, you know, you'll find it on ring 3. I think you can also find it on ring 4. I can't remember correctly, but typically ring 3. And at that point in the game, even the 12 damage that it's doing is gonna kill any backliner and all the grenades and stuff, right? So it doesn't even immediately even need an upgrade to really shine. If the alternative was a microstone instead of just a -1 pip, I think I could take it a lot more often. And I'm not saying that I don't ever not take it, but I would say a good 95% of the time I take the Wingmaker. It's just too good. I mean, look how much it carried this run. And yeah, generally just taking value stuff. Another thing you can think about is, like, sometimes if you don't have direction, just taking the highest value cards is a good way to go. You know, luckily if I could do it over again with the Fledgling Imp call, I think I might have taken the Ritual there, even still not knowing how everything turned out. Like, I think I was a little bit too greedy to take Fledgling Imp over Ritual in the context there, because, like, true, we never found a Titan Sentry, but I do think the original... I think I was going down a line of thinking that I should have stuck with, where it was like, well, Endless still could be found. I have a unit draft coming up along with a Stygian unit at the Steel. It's pretty likely that I would find a Titan Sentry between that. We didn't, but it's like... It's likely enough that probably that Ritual was just a smarter play there, because... I don't know. The Ritual will still always generally be good, right? Whereas the Fledgling Imp we saw here, it wasn't so good. When you don't get Endless. Let's take a look what the Smitter had done. So they died ring 4. They did have the Alpha Fiend with a Steelworker infusion. Yeah, see, they did the Hef's consultation. Like, I just don't like it. It doesn't... If it brought it to a 1-pip unit, then sure, I think it makes sense here then. But it only brings it to a 2-pip unit. At that point in the game, I probably would be down to just bring it to a 1-pip unit. But at 2... eh. I mean, what... Does it even change anything right now, right? Because, you know, you take a draw upgrade, and all it's really doing is allowing you to play Fledgling Imp on the floor. That's about it. Or to go mid. Either of which aren't, like, that good of things, I think. But alternatively, you could just have a hammer. The hammer would just carry the shit out of your run, right? And I think this is where the plus 30 was found, right? Like, I found it pretty early. I like this. I like the 10 there. I like the Surge Stone there. I like the cost... Well, I don't like reducing the cost on this over the Ritual. Yeah, I would say Flash Freeze and Crystallis being upgraded the Ember over the Ritual. I don't like that. I would much rather bring this down to 1. And then... This is, like, okay. I mean, you are technically getting... pretty good scaling, both offensive. I see what you're going for here, and it's not the worst thing in the world, honestly. But I think you just should have done a pip upgrade at this point. You know, at this point, unless you're saying that you don't care to use Soul Guard, which is acceptable, but also I would argue that you're not really using, like, if you're going to make this Steelworker infusion, you might as well use the Soul Guard. So I'm thinking if you do go this route, I would definitely have gone pip upgrade. You are hurting your overall incants and deck consistency by doing that. However, you are getting 10 armor a turn to Soul Guard. If you happen to find a rail armor, it'll be like 20 armor a turn. Actually, it'll be even more than that, I think. Trying to think, it's 4 on each application. No, yeah, that'd be 20. But yeah, I don't know. I think it would help with Relentless, and it looks like this died to Relentless specifically, which is pretty rough because that's a pretty easy boss. I wonder what, you'll have to let me know, like, what you guys... Oh, you had the Siren as well. Does that mean you're running a 2-floor setup? I think there's just too much going on here. Granted, my deck probably had a bit too much going on at this point too, so, like, no harm, no foul there, but... Yeah, I mean, this does work. Like, it would work. I do think, though, that you ditch the Siren of the Sea. Just run them both on the floor with Soul Guard, pip upgrade. I mean, I bet if you ended up... Just trying to think what can be done here. And I have to imagine if you're taking the Alloy, you are planning on investing into the cold channel to a certain degree here. So yeah, I could maybe see if you're running double Alpha Fiend, I guess the Ritual might not take priority. It just sucks because, like, without the hammer in this deck, your actual removal, really only the horn breaks are good. 65 shards. I think I would still take the hammer, especially since he had the Siren of the Sea. I'd be inclined almost to say, screw it to. I would say screw it to Alpha Fiend. Don't be afraid to ditch a unit that you've put multi-strike into, you know? I think, so you would have had the Siren at the time you saw the hammer, because I'm guessing you took it at the Ring 2 reward screen. So you took that. I think you can plan around just making an incant floor at that point. And using the hammer as your removal and potentially pip space increase. Now the pip space increase would be used in the event that you don't find multi-strike, I would say. I would say if you do find a multi-strike, you may not even care that much about going wide on the floor. You could probably Hellhunt the Siren still at some point. But I may even just say a single Siren with multi-strike along with your Cold Channel Soulguard could be enough. It all depends on the order that you find things, right? I'm trying to remember how everything kind of got put together, but I think speculatively, I would take the hammer. I would abandon Alpha Fiend. I think I prematurely removed it in my run, but with a plan eventually to remove Alpha Fiend instead of going too hard into it. And then probably just build around Siren, Soulguard, and the hammer best as you can. Mixing in stuff like Ritual, Hornbreak, just mixing in Alloy, mixing in the value stuff. But I don't think a Faulty Loader is bad. I think that's fine. Because I know there was an original comment about that. Rationing Scales, I don't know if I love that over Refracting Lenses. I will say that. I think that you're not really going to earn any gold from it until past Ring 3. And that's assuming things have gone well. Whereas, and you're also keep in mind, even if things go well, you are capping your health to 50. Whereas with this, kind of in either case, you're benefiting more with Refracting Lenses. If things aren't going well, you're still probably going to heal as much, hopefully as much as Rationing Scales would. But if things are going well, instead of gold, you just have actual pyre buffer health, like up the yin yang, like it's you're probably at full health at that point, and then you can have leeway to make mistakes and stuff. I mean, I probably wouldn't have beat Arcus had I not had a whole thing of health to go with, right? It covered my mistake. I made a massive mistake in that fight that no way I survive it with Rationing Scales, right? Yeah, that's the main things I can deck doctor there. I would say it was relatively cursed for most of the run, certainly for the portions of the run up until you died. But it definitely opens up after a certain point. And I don't think the Arcus fight should have been bad. I just was I was on autopilot, and it almost cost me it, but still got it done. Had enough buffer there for our mistakes. But yeah, I mean, I like a lot of the stuff that's going on here, right? Like I like the take of the Ritual after the Fledgling Imp. You kind of see that, okay, it might be worth going to the Ritual. I still think maybe commit to it over these, though. And, yeah, I mean, the initial Alpha Fiend with the multi-strike I like, but I suppose I don't like skipping the hammer. Or also just building around the Alpha Fiend. Alpha Fiend,
You know, it's kind of a meme unit, but honestly, I say this as like a Hellhorned, you know, Hellhorn's #1 fan. I would honestly avoid relying on this unit for your endgame plan like the Plague. It is, like, unironically, such a bad unit. It's too expensive, it takes up too much pip, it has no stats, the effect is not worth what you're paying for it. You know, of the units that came up, there's just better units to build around. Like, you can build around a Steelworker, you can build around a Cold Kalia, you can build around a Siren of the Sea. Those three are very solid units. Even a Siliphyte to a certain extent. But, you know, stuff like Alpha Fiend, Demon Fiend, Guard of the Unnamed, these are low value units that you want to avoid using. Their essences can be good, but the actual units, I would ditch trying to build around them most of the time unless you're absolutely forced into it. It may have felt like you're forced into it here since you had the multi-strike on it already, but I probably would start moving toward the Siren in this case. But yeah, I've probably talked this one to death. That was a fun submission though. Thanks for that submission. And as always, until next time, thanks for watching. Peace.